All right, what's up, y'all? Now, I talked to y'all about the cons and the pros of being a guy with a high body count. Now I'm gonna talk about the type of men that have high body counts. There's three categories, and like each one of these categories has little variations inside of them, but it's mainly three categories of them. And some of these guys, think of it like that graph where it's like one circle, two circle, three circle, and in the middle and to the side they share some same traits with each other. It's the same way with this. So let's go over the first one. The first one I call the dog, el perro. So like the dog, el perro, these guys, these are the sex addict ones. These are the guys that don't give a fuck. The guys that got multiple baby mamas, multiple kids, and like these are your typical Pookies and Ray Rays that women go crazy over. These guys, they tend to have the high impulse, so they're usually fucking up and getting into trouble. They have no control over anything. They go after any woman. She can be his friend or a relative's wife or sister, and sometimes they even go after their own family members. I know, disgusting, nasty motherfuckers that should not be, around children or, like, you know what I mean, okay? I don't want to get too into that. These guys, they tend to go after their wives and their wives and girlfriends, sisters and friends and relatives as well. These guys have no respect. These guys are usually in and out of jail a lot, and these guys also run high with addiction. They're usually bad alcoholics or coke addicts, or really bad on weed or stuff like Molly. I don't know if Molly's still a thing, but yeah, I call them the perro because it's like a dog, like a horny dog that has no fucking control. And these guys, though, they tend to have bad relationships with their sons. They tend to only favor and really have any relationship at all with their daughters. And the reason is because when these guys get old and they can no longer, because throughout their life they're living off a woman, they're using women, and these guys never really amount to shit at all. They have nothing to offer y'all besides, like sex, and like I guess women find these guys very attractive. So these guys, what they do, they can't find no woman to take care of them, they start trying to get their adult daughters to take care of them. And sadly, that usually happens a lot. I've seen that in many families and generations where like the adult daughters is taking care of these guys, and like the guy can be old as fuck, like in his 60s, 70s, and he's still ranking up that body count. He's probably like 5 digits, 4 digits by the time he's in the 70s. And a lot of times they're going after their daughter's friends. I know, disgusting. Some of them will even go after their adult granddaughter's friends. And like, I knew a case where like 2 guys had these, actually they're both in their 70s, and they ended up knocking up their 20-something-year-old granddaughter's best friend. I know. So that's the perro. That's the one, that's enough about them. The third one, I call him the kid, el niño. I mean, the second one, I call him the kid, el niño. So, like the perro, these guys have a high impulse, so they can get in trouble and fuck up, but not as much as the dog. These guys also run risk of having like high chances of being like addicted to drugs. Mostly for them, instead of being weed and Molly, for these guys, it's more like alcohol and opiates. Alcohol, opiates, and alcohol and opiates. Now, these guys, a lot of them are very insecure for many reasons that stem back to their childhood. A lot of these guys didn't get no love and nurture as children. As I had mentioned in other videos, they didn't get that from their parents, and they try to find that in friends and relationships, and they think the more women they sleep with, like these women are sleeping with them, these women are giving them affection, even though it's just sex, it's nothing more than that. To them, it means something, and like it makes them almost feel whole just for like a moment. Think of it like a small dopium boost. You get high or drunk, you feel good for a short moment in time, but then it wears away and you're back in reality. That's the thing with these guys. These guys are usually very depressed or angry. A lot of times they hate themselves. These guys tend to be outsiders. They're like the more lonelier ones that like men with high body counts. These guys usually are not liked anywhere. And this is the category I fit in. Like I said, I didn't have that love and nurture from my parents. I do love my parents, but I just ain't have it. You know, I'm a male. Was born into a Hispanic household. I'm not Pookie and Ray Ray or Chad or Tyrone. So, you know, I ain't getting into that. So I ended up sadly going down this route. It is what it is. Now these guys, some of them do tend to have kids as well, but these guys never have a relationship really. Like they're just a side piece, or like the Pedro, he usually he'll have a girlfriend or a wife, and then he's got other girls on other women on the side. The one that I'm talking about right now, the kid, El Niño, they're usually just a side piece. They're usually just like nothing but hooking up. So they're gonna be single most of the time. They're gonna be single, and that's why a lot of them are lonely. And they cope with a couple other stuff. These guys were also like the kind of guys like when they were growing up as kids, up into their 20s, they were always trying to impress other groups of people. Like I remember I would do stupid shit. Like I would pick fights with random fucking people. I would do a lot of stupid shit, risky shit that could get me hurt or in trouble, because, you know, I just wanted that approval or wanted that praise from different people. So these like the Pedro, they run the risk of getting locked up for life or getting killed, you know, because of their lifestyle. These guys, they don't run as high as a risk, but they do end up, you know, like running the risk of getting in trouble with the law or getting killed because of their stupid actions. Now, the last one, you might be surprised, are the number 3, they're down low men. Now, these men, they're the ones that have the best, most normal relationship. Now, what I mean by normal, they have a more stable relationship. They have a wife and kids, and they're usually in a long-term committed relationship. Now, these guys, deep down inside, they hate women, and they hate themselves because they don't want to accept the fact that they're down low. A lot of times these guys will be having a woman on the side, but they'll be messing around with other men on the side too, or just constantly cheating, always cheating. A lot of these guys, I noticed, they like to go for transgenders, or what we call, you know, other people call them lady boys. They like to go for them, or they like to go for younger men, younger feminine looking men. And now, these guys, they're usually married or in a relationship for a long time. Like, they don't die alone like the other two do. And they usually have like several kids with one woman, and but they're always cheating. And like, the reason they're always cheating is because, again, they're trying to convince themselves that they're not down low. They hate themselves that they're down low, and they think that the more women they sleep around with, that, you know, it's these feelings, these gay feelings they have inside, that they're gonna go away, instead of accepting their true nature. I just call those the down low guys. These guys tend to be you're like, you're more street dudes. You're hyper masculine guys, hyper super mega red pill guys. You know who I'm talking about. Loud, aggressive. They say, I'm an alpha, I'm all this and that. They're trying to convince not just you, they're trying to convince themselves that they're not down low. And this isn't the case. You know, these guys, I don't, from what I've been told, I guess they can run like a decent, you know, healthy relationship with their old lady, like unless she finds out, you know, what he's doing in the dark. Like the Pedro, he usually has a very hectic lifestyle at home. Him, the old lady will be fighting. Then the other one, the Niño, he usually has little short flings and bursts of love and relationships that go nowhere, and they tend to fuck up when that happens and hurt themselves or hurt others, or they just fucking like fuck off and like leave. And then like the down low guys, they have a more stable, because they're like living a double life. But that's it, folks. That's the 3 types of men of high body counts that you'll encounter in life. So that's your video you wanted, Stevie. And if you want anything else, just ask me.